Hello and welcome. If you're watching this, chances are you're familiar with it. That moment. It's 3 a.m. The house is quiet. The world is asleep. But you're wide awake. Your mind starts to race, replaying the day, worrying about tomorrow, or maybe just frustrated, wondering why you can't get back to the deep, restful sleep you used to enjoy. You might think, well, this is just part of getting older. It's a story many of us have been told and one we tell ourselves. But what if I told you that story isn't entirely true? That feeling of being tired but wired, of waking up feeling like you haven't slept at all, it's not just you. It's an incredibly common experience. Studies show that up to half of all adults over the age of 55 struggle with their sleep. In fact, insomnia is the single most common sleep complaint among Americans over 65. But here's a fascinating detail. While we might toss and turn, the data shows that as we get older, we actually have less trouble falling asleep than younger adults do. The real challenge, the one you're likely nodding your head to right now, is staying asleep. It's that fragmented, light, and unsatisfying rest that leaves us feeling drained. So let's be clear, poor sleep is not a mandatory part of aging. It's a challenge, and it's a challenge we can meet. Over the next few minutes, we're going to explore why our sleep changes, why it matters more than ever, and most importantly, we're going to open up the pantry to find 5 simple, delicious, and science-backed foods that can help you reclaim your nights and revolutionize your rest. Before we can fix a problem, we need to understand it. So why does a good night's sleep seem to get more elusive as the years go by? It's not one single thing, but a combination of natural shifts within our bodies and the realities of our lives. First, let's talk about your body's internal clock, or what scientists call the circadian rhythm. Think of it as a master conductor that tells your body when to feel alert and when to feel sleepy. As we age, this clock can shift forward. This is called an advanced sleep-wake phase. It's why you might find yourself getting tired earlier in the evening, maybe around 7 or 8 p.m., and then waking up for the day at 3 or 4 in the morning, long before you want to. But it's not just when you sleep, it's how you sleep. Sleep isn't just one state of being, it's a journey through different stages. There are light stages, and then there's the deep, restorative, slow-wave sleep, and the dreaming REM sleep. When we're younger, we spend a good amount of time in those deep, refreshing stages. As we age, the script flips. We spend more time in the lighter stages of sleep. This change in what's called our sleep architecture is why our sleep feels so fragile. While a young adult might wake up briefly 5 times a night without even knowing it, someone over 60 can wake up as many as 150 times. You're not imagining it. You really are a lighter sleeper than you used to be. And a key reason for this is a hormone called melatonin. You can think of melatonin as the hormone of darkness. When the sun goes down and light fades, your brain produces melatonin to send a powerful signal to every cell in your body. It's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. But as we get older, our bodies naturally produce less melatonin. That lights-out signal becomes weaker, making it harder to stay in a deep, consolidated state of sleep. Of course, it's not just our internal clocks. Life itself brings new challenges. Chronic pain from conditions like arthritis can make it impossible to get comfortable. Breathing issues from asthma or heart conditions can cause interruptions. And for many, frequent trips to the bathroom at night, a condition called nocturia, are a major sleep thief. Then there's the pharmacy factor. As we age, we're more likely to be on medications for various health concerns. In fact, nearly half of all Medicare enrollees take 5 or more prescription drugs. Many common medications, including those for high blood pressure or even some antidepressants, can interfere with your sleep patterns. And we can't forget the mind at midnight. Stress, worry, and depression are powerful sleep saboteurs. Major life changes like retirement, a change in routine, or the loss of a loved one can weigh heavily on our minds, making it hard to find peace at night. It's a vicious cycle. Poor sleep worsens our mood, and a low mood makes it harder to sleep. This cycle doesn't just make us tired. It can subtly erode our sense of control and independence. When we feel exhausted and down, we might stop doing the very things that keep us healthy, like preparing nutritious meals, because it just feels like too much effort. This decline in self-care then feeds back into poor sleep, creating a downward spiral that affects our entire quality of life. Getting a good night's sleep isn't a luxury, it's a biological necessity, and its importance only grows as we age. Think of your brain like a bustling city. During the day, it's working hard, creating traffic and waste. When you fall into a deep sleep, a remarkable thing happens. A cleanup crew, known as the glymphatic system, gets to work. This system is about 10 times more active during deep sleep than when you're awake, and its job is to wash away toxic waste products that build up in the brain, including a protein called beta-amyloid, which is strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease. So sleep isn't just passive rest. It's an active, essential maintenance process for your brain. Sleep is also when we make memories. During the day, we gather experiences. At night, during deep and REM sleep, the brain sorts through these experiences, filing them away and converting them into long-term memories. Without enough quality sleep, our ability to learn, focus, solve problems, and make clear decisions suffers dramatically. Even one night of poor sleep can have a measurable impact on our cognitive function the next day, and the benefits extend to our entire body. Sleep is when our body repairs tissues, builds proteins, and strengthens our immune system. Chronic sleep deprivation is linked to a higher risk of serious health problems, including high blood pressure, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and obesity. Finally, a good night's sleep is fundamental to our emotional well-being. It helps regulate our mood and makes us more resilient to stress. When we're well-rested, we feel more positive, more engaged, and more in control of our lives. In fact, research has shown that consistently good sleep can add years to our lives, an average of 4.7 years for men and 2.4 years for women. So, the stakes are high. But the good news is, the power to improve our sleep is closer than we think. It's right in our kitchens. For many, the first thought for tackling sleep problems is a sleeping pill. But these can come with side effects, including an increased risk of falls, which is a serious concern for older adults. What if we took a food-first approach? What if we could use our diet as a gentle, natural, and delicious first line of defense? To do that, we need to meet the conductors of our body's inner orchestra, the natural chemicals that tell us when to be awake and when to sleep. First, there's melatonin, our sunset signal. As we discussed, it's the hormone produced in darkness that tells our body it's time to wind down. Next is serotonin, the sunshine signal. This is our daytime conductor, responsible for making us feel awake, alert, and positive. Here's the crucial part. Serotonin is the direct building block for melatonin. You need enough of the sunshine signal during the day to create the sunset signal at night. The raw material for all of this is tryptophan. It's an essential amino acid, meaning our body can't make it. We have to get it from food. Tryptophan is converted into serotonin, which is then converted into melatonin. Then there's GABA, which you can think of as the brain's off switch. It's a neurotransmitter that calms down nerve activity, quieting the mental chatter and reducing anxiety. And finally, we have magnesium, the master relaxer. This vital mineral is involved in over 300 processes in the body, including helping to flip that GABA off switch and relaxing our muscles from head to toe. The 5 foods we're about to discuss work by supporting these natural systems. They don't just knock you out. They provide the very ingredients your body needs to orchestrate a perfect night of sleep. And they do this in 2 brilliant ways. First, they provide direct neurochemical support, giving your brain the melatonin, tryptophan, or serotonin it needs. Second, they provide systemic support, reducing the inflammation and muscle tension throughout your body that can keep you awake. They quiet the brain and the body. A first sleep superstar is the Tart cherry, specifically the Montmorency variety. This isn't just any cherry. Tart cherries are one of the very few natural food sources of melatonin, that sunset signal we need to fall asleep. But they don't stop there. They also contain a healthy dose of tryptophan, which helps your body produce even more of its own melatonin. It's a brilliant 1-2 punch for promoting rest. The research on Tart cherries is incredibly compelling, especially for older adults. In one study, seniors with chronic insomnia drank Tart cherry juice twice a day. After just 2 weeks, they increased their sleep time by an average of a staggering 84 minutes. Another study found that it significantly reduced the severity of insomnia in older adults. Look for 100% pure Tart cherry juice. It's very important to find one with no added sugar, as a sugar rush before bed can do more harm than good. While studies often used 2 glasses a day, a great place to start is with 1 8-ounce glass about an hour before you plan to go to bed. If you're concerned about the natural sugar content, you can also find Tart cherry extract in capsule form, typically around 480 milligrams. Next up is a nut that even looks a bit like a tiny brain, the walnut. And as it turns out, it's fantastic for both your brain and your sleep. Walnuts contain a perfect trio of sleep-promoting compounds. They have a natural source of melatonin, the tryptophan needed to make more, and a dose of magnesium to help calm the nervous system and relax your muscles. Walnuts aren't a new health fad. They were considered royal nuts in ancient Persia, reserved for rulers, and were known as a food that gave strength throughout medieval Europe. This is a food with a long history of being valued for its benefits. Walnuts are packed with a type of omega-3 fatty acid called ALA, which is a champion for brain health, memory, and heart health, all top priorities as we age. A 2022 study found that daily walnut consumption not only improved sleep duration, but also boosted overall mental health. A small handful, which is about 1 ounce or a quarter of a cup, is the perfect portion for a light bedtime snack. Enjoy it an hour or 2 before turning in. The simplest way is to just enjoy them plain. But they're also delicious, sprinkled over a small bowl of oatmeal or some Greek yogurt. If you prefer a spread, almond butter is a wonderful alternative, also rich in that relaxing mineral, magnesium. Our third food takes us to the sea. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and trout are well known for their health benefits, but they are also fantastic for sleep. This is all about the partnership between 2 key nutrients, vitamin D and omega-3 fatty acids, especially one called DHA. Both of these are essential for your body to regulate serotonin, that sunshine hormone that later becomes our sleep hormone, melatonin. In fact, studies show that low levels of DHA are directly linked to a deficiency in melatonin. One study had a group of men eat fatty fish like salmon 3 times a week for several months. The results? They fell asleep faster and reported feeling more functional and alert during the day. For thousands of years, cultures around the world have relied on fish as a cornerstone of a healthy diet, recognizing its power to nourish the body and mind long before we knew the words omega-3. The anti-inflammatory power of omega-3s is a huge plus. It can help soothe the chronic inflammation that contributes to joint pain from arthritis, a major cause of sleep disruption. They are also proven to help with mood, which can ease the anxiety or depression that so often goes hand in hand with insomnia. Think salmon, mackerel, herring, or even sardines. Aim for a 3 to 5 ounce serving 2 or 3 times a week. This isn't a bedtime snack, but rather a part of your regular dinner routine. Cooking salmon for one can be simple. Take a 5-ounce fillet, place it on a small piece of foil, drizzle with a little olive oil, squeeze some lemon, and sprinkle with herbs like dill or parsley. Bake it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 12 to 15 minutes. It's a quick, delicious, and sleep-promoting meal. This small, fuzzy fruit might be a surprising addition to our list, but the science behind it is remarkable. Kiwi contains a unique blend of sleep-promoting ingredients. It's a good source of serotonin, the sunshine hormone that helps regulate your sleep cycle. It's also loaded with antioxidants like vitamin C, and it contains folate. A deficiency in folate has been linked to insomnia, and antioxidants help fight the underlying inflammation and stress in the body that can interfere with rest. This is where it gets really interesting. One landmark study had participants eat 2 kiwis 1 hour before bed every night for 4 weeks. The results were dramatic. On average, they fell asleep 35% faster. They woke up nearly 29% less often during the night, and their total sleep time increased significantly. Kiwis are an excellent source of dietary fiber, which is great for digestive health. A comfortable and settled digestive system is another key piece of the puzzle for an uninterrupted night's sleep. The research gives us a very specific and easy-to-follow recipe for success. Eat 2 medium-sized kiwis about 1 hour before bedtime. The easiest way is the best way. Just cut them in half and scoop out the delicious green fruit with a spoon. If you want to get a little fancier, you could try a simple kiwi fool. Just mash a couple of ripe kiwis and gently fold them into a small bowl of whipped cream or thick Greek yogurt. It's a light, elegant, no-bake dessert that's perfect for winding down. Finally, we come to a remedy that has been trusted for centuries: a warm, soothing cup of chamomile tea. The magic of chamomile comes from a special compound called apigenin. Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine your brain has a series of locks that, when opened, trigger a feeling of calm and relaxation. Apigenin acts like a key that fits perfectly into these locks, which are called GABA receptors. When apigenin clicks into place, it helps to quiet down the brain's activity, reduce anxiety, and gently guide you toward a state of sleepiness. This isn't just modern science. To get the most benefit, steep a tea bag or a teaspoon of dried chamomile flowers in hot water for at least 5 to 10 minutes, covered, to trap all the beneficial compounds. Make it part of a relaxing nightly ritual, about 30 to 45 minutes before you head to bed. Chamomile is very safe for most people, but there are a few exceptions. If you have an allergy to related plants like ragweed, daisies, or marigolds, you should avoid it. It can also interact with certain medications, especially blood thinners like warfarin, so it is crucial to talk with your doctor if you take any prescription medications. To make it even easier, here's a quick summary of our 5 sleep superstars. Just as some foods can help us sleep, others can act as sleep saboteurs. This isn't a list of forbidden foods, but rather things to be mindful of, especially in the evening. The most obvious culprits are caffeine and alcohol. Caffeine works by blocking the very brain chemicals that make us feel sleepy, and it can stay in your system for many hours. And while a glass of wine might feel relaxing, alcohol actually fragments your sleep later in the night, preventing you from reaching those deep, restorative stages. Some less obvious disruptors include heavy, fatty, or high-protein meals close to bedtime. Your digestion slows down significantly when you sleep, so a big steak dinner forces your body to work overtime when it should be resting. Spicy foods can cause heartburn and even raise your core body temperature, making it harder to get comfortable. And for some people, aged cheeses and cured meats contain an amino acid called tyramine, which can act as a stimulant. These foods are powerful tools, but they work best when they are part of a larger team. Weaving them into a consistent, relaxing evening routine is the key to unlocking their full potential. This is what experts call sleep hygiene. It means sticking to a regular schedule, going to bed and waking up around the same time each day, even on weekends. It means making sure your bedroom is a sanctuary for sleep, dark, cool, and quiet. And it means creating a wind-down ritual. An hour before bed, turn off the news and the bright screens. Read a book, listen to calming music, take a warm bath, and enjoy your chosen sleep-promoting snack or your cup of chamomile tea. This signals to your body and mind that the day is done and it's time for rest. We began this journey at 3 a.m., feeling frustrated and alone in the quiet of the night. But now, we know that we are not alone in this struggle, and more importantly, that we are not powerless. Reclaiming deep, restorative sleep is one of the most profound acts of self-care you can undertake. It is a gift you can give your brain, your body, and your spirit every single night. The solutions don't have to be complicated or expensive. They can be found in a simple glass of cherry juice, a handful of walnuts, a perfectly baked piece of salmon, a couple of fresh kiwis, or a warm, fragrant cup of tea. So start small. You don't have to try everything at once. This week, just pick one. Choose the one that sounds the most delicious and comforting to you, and make it a part of your evening. See how it feels. You have the power to change your nights, and in doing so, you can absolutely transform your days. Thank you for joining me. Here's to sleeping deeply and living fully.